Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Good morning. First, before we go any further and we discuss what activity that I'm going to show you this morning, is that because lots of fans click through on the ads on the YouTube channel, it allows me to not only feed and the animals, have electricity, substrate and stuff, but I purchased a new air conditioner for this room, which is a hell of a lot less noisier than the other one. So I thank you for clicking through on the ads and keeping the lair funded. Okay, so what we're doing today is it's about 1 week away or so, 2 weeks maybe, to the hatch date of the Taipan eggs, the Papuan Taipans, and we don't want baby Taipans to get out into either the works of the incubator and crawl around once they hatch, if they hatch early, or whenever they hatch, because that may happen when unattended. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to put a little bit of substrate in here, vermiculite. I just pick it up at Home Depot or Lowe's. Wet it down, drain off the excess water into the bucket down there, and then remove the eggs from the incubator and carefully, with as little fanfare as possible and not disturbing their orientation or anything, move them to this container, which I believe, and I haven't tried yet, will fit inside the incubator. We'll remove the old incubation tray that they're in, and then I have a well ventilated lid which will go on top, which will keep the little blighters where they belong and not out in the room or in the incubator when they hatch. It would be really, really bad to have little toxic beasties out and about, because these guys, you know, are not sort of, oh, I see a human, I'm going to get out of here. These are like, I don't care if they don't see me or not, I'm going to bite them if they come any closer. And that would be a very bad bite, even though they're very tiny. Wouldn't want to take that risk. So without any further blaberation, that's blabber and elaboration, I just made that up. We'll go ahead and do this. Lori said I should make videos shorter, so we will keep the blaberation to a minimum. So I'm wearing gloves not only to keep my fingers clean and stuff, but we don't want to impart any molds or bacteria or anything like that into the incubation chamber. They've come almost to completion. I don't think I'm going to, I think I put in sort of the right amount of moisture there. Plus there's moisture in the system in there, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to pour it out. I don't really see water pooling. You know, if there was a pool of water down there, we can add water as necessary. So now we'll open the incubation chamber sort of carefully, because one time time I was going to, I thought that no one was going to hatch, and I went to grab the egg and I saw this little head go back into the egg, and it's like, eee. So this one is obviously toast. This one's toast. So we're going to remove those. And this one is stuck to the other ones. Some people like to separate their eggs. I don't. I prefer to leave them exactly in the arrangement that Mom left them. So I will not disturb them if at all possible.
That's Dad in the background there.
Yes, there. He's not interested because he's done his thing.
And there's no food.
And there's no food or sex involved, so he's not interested. Okay, so maybe we need to slightly reorganize. Okay. There we have it. We have probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 eggs that certainly look like they're going to hatch, but all bets are off. We never count our baby snakes until they hatch, and then, you know, it's a couple of weeks before we decide that they're viable, and you know, they're not going to die because of some unseen internal defect that they have. So we're going to put this back inside, and we're going to close this up, and it's locked. So,
Lid.
oh, frig. I'm such a dope. Okay, so yes, the important thing was the lid, and of course I forgot that. Don't ask me. I got these somewheres along the way in my snake keeping life. I don't know where exactly they came from, so don't ask me. I know they're sort of like restaurant supply stuff. You know, put salads and sauces in and store them in the fridge at the restaurant until you've created enough E. coli so you can kill the people that come to your restaurant. I don't know. I'm just saying. It seems to have lots of those problems in recent years. At any rate, just joking there. These guys are all set. We'll continue to monitor the temperature and humidity. Hopefully the signal will get out from my little wireless system, because I put an extra barrier around it. But I have this backup recording system that, I said backup recording system. There we are. Okay, so it tells me the high and the low. Low, high, 28.5. The ideal temperature is between 28 and 29 Celsius. If you don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, figure it out on your own. It's called Google, use it. So that's going into the home stretch with the Taipan eggs. So sadly, that egg that didn't make it is going to get popped in the freezer to make sure that it's not going to make it, because it's going to be discarded in the trash, and we don't want little Taipan to hatch in a landfill somewhere. That would be really bad. Any rate, that's the story. Hopefully Lori or I can catch them in the process of hatching. and we'll film it if at all possible. They are dangerous little blokes and pretty foul when they come out of the egg. So we'll see. If not, if any actually hatch and survive, you'll actually see video and images of the babies getting moved to high containment bins again, so they don't find their way out into the room. Alright, today in our continuing series of tabletop snakes, and you have to realize that doing tabletop exercises with venomous snakes is hazardous and stressful for both the snake and myself and Mrs. Viperkeeper. Okay, so in the bin here that you can sort of see is a fossorial snake from Africa. There's several species. This is Elapsoidea sundervalli, and there might even be a subspecies. I'm not going to go that crazy with it. These are known as African garter snakes, not to be confused with American garter snakes. Now, I'm going to offer some food since she's somewhat food crazed. Huh? Gotta find her first. Hi, I know I'm disturbing you. Are you in shed, huh? Yeah, she's a little bit milky looking, but I believe that that she will accept my offering. Okay, there's no reason to hide. Come on out and let everybody see you. It's okay, I assure you. She's actually a fairly easygoing elapid. That's why she's not really related to the garter snakes in the United States. This is why we use scientific nomenclature, because common names are easily confused and not very exact. And when you're dealing with somebody who's been bitten by a snake, you want to be exact so you can determine what the medical significance of that bite will be. Well, the Elapsoidea are neurotoxic and cytotoxic to humans, and not in a significant way. These are considered not medically significant elapids in Africa. You know, mostly people present with pain and swelling and maybe a little tingling and numbness and stuff systemically, but no real, let's say, serious respiratory or paralytic issues. This may be different from their prey animals, which are small mammals, birds, as well as you know, probably lizards and frogs and such. Very, very shy fossorial snakes. Usually she's quite friendly and comes out and stuff, and actually is quite pleasant to work with. But you know, because she's either going into blue or coming out of it, she's not in the best of moods. But as I explained, she likes to eat, so therefore she's going to give you a little bit of a show of what she's all about. They come in various colors and stripes and patterns and stuff, and you know, that's why I said there's probably eight or nine different species. You can look them up on the web if you wish. They're very, very interesting snakes. I've been trying to get them for years and years, but The exporters don't consider this to be a money maker or a very interesting snake, and so they don't catch them and supply them very often. And they grow to probably about 2 to 3 feet in length, and certainly, you know, if they grabbed you by the finger, you would not be a happy camper for several days. Was that tasty, huh?
And like all elapids, she can move like lightning when she wants to.
Yes, she's, you know, unfortunately you're not catching her at her best moment, but she's super glossy and smooth, which allows her to move through substrate like grease lightning, and on the surface she's just really fast. You know, in Africa, you know, all the cobras and such, and lots of other snakes, including boomslangs and other rear fangs, will eat other snakes. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Elapsoidea also didn't eat other snakes. And she's got the cutest little face and a very cute little tongue, very reminiscent of the head of a bungarus. Like I said, she's adorable and actually pretty pleasant to work with, and she can go pretty fast, but we try not to make our snakes go pretty fast. We like to keep them calm and not excite them and elicit strikes. Well, with a couple of exceptions. You know, Weasel sort of is self-striking, and you know, we try not to encourage it, but you know, he's such a funny guy, and his apprentice across the way, the Milos Viper, is just another character. It seems to sort of run in genuses. You have, you know, similar personalities across the genus and species, and but there's always variation for individuals. So you might get one individual that's calm, you might get another one that's, you know, holy terror from beyond space, something like that. So we're going to end it here. I'm going to give her another fuzzy, and then we're going to continue on for the day, since, you know, she's very cooperative when she has her mouth full. That's the easiest way to do it, and I apologize that, you know, she's not in her prime colors, but you know, this is the way it goes. You know, I can't schedule them to be in their prime whenever I grab the camera or whenever I plan something. You want another girly, huh? You want another girly? Hi, how you doing? Yes, I'm always worried about them shooting up and grabbing me by my big nose, but I try to be very cautious, but try to be a little bit personal with them and not show them that I mean them harm. So I'm going to take her back across and slide her back in, and we'll continue on having fun around the lair. I see over there Slinky's lights out, so I've got to fix that, as well as sheds and change substrate, and of course the all-important feeding part.